Hey, welcome back to the channel, Tea Times for Two, Golf Travel for Couples. I'm Scott, and for those of you who are new, I've spent the past 41 years as a high school football and golf coach. And in that time, I've been fortunate enough to travel and play many of the best golf courses in the world. During COVID, I taught my lovely wife, Cheryl, how to play golf, and then she got hooked. Now we travel the world together, playing some of the best golf courses the world has to offer. And then we rate and review each golf course or resort on our channel for couples like us who like to travel and play golf. Cheryl's on a little mini vacation this week, so I thought I would answer a question that some of the viewers had and asked me what my top 15 courses are that I played outside the United States. And to make this list, I scored each of the 30 some odd favorites that I have based on layout, variety of holes, shot values, and aesthetics. And then I tallied up the scores to try to make this as objective as I could and eliminate any emotional issues that I had with that. So here's my list of the top 15 courses of the hundreds that I played outside the United States in reverse order. Now, please don't hate on my list. It's my list of my favorites that I've played. If you played some of these, leave comments in the comments below and let me know what you thought of them, or give me a list of your 15 favorites that you played worldwide. Currently, 10 of my top 15 are in Golf Digest top 100 courses outside the United States. 5 of these have hosted major championships. 4 others have hosted DP World Tour, Champions Tour, or LPGA Tour events. So they're all highly well regarded. All right, number 15 on my list is LaCana Golf Club in Punta Cana Resort, Dominican Republic. LaCana Golf Course is part of the Punta Cana Resort, about 15 minutes from the Punta Cana Airport, right on the Caribbean Sea. LaCana has 27-hole course with the Arrecife, the Hacienda, and the Tortuga Nines. The course was designed by PB Dye, Pete Dye's son, and has a lot of the same features of his father's courses: large waste areas, deep bunkers, huge mounding, small greens with big slopes to them, railroad tie bulkheads. The day we played it, we played the Arrecife and the Hacienda Nines as they were working on the Tortuga Nine. Punta Cana Resort claims that 14 of the 27 holes are on the sea, but the Tortuga Nine probably has the most. The last 3 holes on the Arrecife course end on the Caribbean Ocean. Golf Magazine has rated LaCana as the #1 course in the Caribbean in the past. The company that we use to book our tee times in the Dominican Republic actually picked you up as part of your green fees, picked you up at your resort. And then when your round was over with, they picked you up at the golf course and took you back to your resort. So eliminated the need to have a rental car while you're in the Dominican, which was really nice. The only problem with LaCana, or the only issue that we had with it, is they require you to have a caddy, even though the caddy just rode on the back of our cart the whole round. And like I said, I'm a golf coach. I don't want a caddy. I want part of the uh, challenge of golf is to pick your clubs and to pick your yardages and to pick your lines on the green. I don't like having somebody do that for me. So that is a bummer. You have to pay for the caddy, and really he doesn't walk or carry your bags, and then you plus tip. So you're really adding to the cost of your round there. And there's several in the Dominican Republic that do the same thing. So that was a bummer and turn off for us. But it's a really good golf course. Number 14 on our list, which was kind of a shocker when we scheduled a play because we were going to be there and we decided to take our clubs and what the heck, is Old Quarry Golf Club on the island of Curacao in the southern Caribbean, right off the coast of Venezuela. Old Quarry is an 18-hole complex that was built out of an old limestone quarry, and is located right next to the Sandals Royal Curacao Resort, about 30 minutes from downtown. Old Quarry was designed by Pete Dye. It is a really cool design in that the course has 3 distinct personalities to it, or sections to it. It has holes right on the Caribbean Ocean, and then it moves inland and has several holes along Tafelberg Mountain there, which dominates the course, the views of the golf course there. And it has some really cool elevation changes. And then it has holes along by the marina and the bay there. So it has really 3 different parts to it. All the while it's surrounded by semi-desert cactus and fauna. So it is really pleasantly surprised how cool the golf course was. In fact, we were so pleasantly surprised with the cool layout that we played it 3 times while we were in Curacao. Because literally it was up, our room was maybe 50 yards from the old pro shop, which has since moved down to the marina. But literally we could just walk right out of our room, carry our clubs right out, and there we are on the first tee. The course had the typical mounding, waste areas, small greens, huge bunker that Pete Dye is known for. And the conditions when we were there were terrific. I'd seen some videos from past years where it wasn't in the greatest shape, but when we were there, it was absolutely first class. Uh, Old Quarry has 5 sets of tees ranging from 4,900 yards to a little over 7,000 yards, and was extremely woman friendly and high handicap friendly. While we were there, we played all 3 rounds, all 3 of them. We played right at 3 hours or less. Pretty much had the course to ourselves each day, and I really can't say enough good about this. So if you're going to Curacao and you got take your stick, or you don't even have to take your sticks, they rent clubs right there. It is definitely worth a play. You're really going to enjoy your day there. Moving on to number 13 on my list of top golf courses out that I played outside the United States, Puerto Los Cabos in San Jose del Cabo, Mexico. Puerto Los Cabos is a 27-hole complex right next to the Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Resort on the east side of San Jose del Cabo, about 20 minutes from the airport, and makes it a really good play either the day you're coming in, which we did, or the day that you're leaving on your way back to the airport. The course has 2 nines designed by Jack Nicklaus, the Ocean and the Vista, and then 9 holes that were designed by Greg Norman called the Mission. The day we were there, the last time we played the Vista and the Mission, both of those had big elevation changes with terrific views of the desert, the mountains, and the Sea of Cortez right there in the distance. Although it doesn't have holes on the ocean like the ocean side does, but you've got a view of it from pretty much everywhere that you play. This course, like a lot of them on my list, especially in the Caribbean, features paspalum grass, which is resistant to the salt water that gets in the air and is an absolute joy to play from. If you've never played in paspalum, A plus. It's literally like playing on a really fine mat. It's just perfect lies everywhere you go. It's great. In fact, 6 of the courses on my list were seated with paspalum. Cheryl's favorite part, if she was here, she'd be jumping up and down right here, is the comfort stations that Puerto Los Cabos has on this, where you can eat all the food you can eat and drink all the big boy beverages that you can drink. She absolutely she'd never heard of that. Is absolutely loved it. She would probably rate this and a couple of others in her top 2 or 3 worldwide because of the comfort station, the tacos, the burritos, as much tequila and margaritas, however you wanted them, whatever it is you want to drink, they make it right there. And now, so good food, good drinks, and great golf with terrific views. Man, that's perfect day right there. This is a must play for us every time that we're in our home away from home, which is Cabo San Lucas. We always try to play this one because it's great golf, great food, and great tequila. Coming in at number 12 on our list, we're going back to the Dominican Republic to the Iberostar Bavarro Golf Course in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. The Iberostar Bavarro is an 18-hole PB die design right next door to the Iberostar Bavarro Resort, about 20 minutes from the Punta Cana airport. This course is absolutely gorgeous. We like it even more than the much more ballyhooed LaCana golf course or the Corrales golf course. It winds through jungle, desert-like areas. It's got big lakes on it. It's even got a nature preserve on it, and even a waterfall. So it was absolutely beautiful. We really, really loved our day here. It was in terrific shape, as you can see in some of our pictures. And it was a really enjoyable day on the golf course. Again, depending on who you book your tee times with when you go to the Dominican, they'll literally pick you up at your resort, take you to the golf course, and take you back. In fact, the whole time we were there, we had the same driver. We asked for him. He was a big Red Sox, big Poppy fan, big Red Sox and big Poppy fan. This course had the typical PB die features, such as the huge mounds, bunkers, waste areas, the really small greens that are severely sloped. But it did have multiple tees, which made it very playable for women or higher handicap players. We played this one the very first thing in the morning, and we played it right at 3 hours, which was amazing. Cheryl would be, if she was here, she would say the same thing. We can't recommend this course enough if staying in Punta Cana, as we liked it a lot more than the more expensive golf courses there. The shot values was just as good. The scenery was great. We played it in 3 hours, and you didn't have to have a caddy, which saved you $100 plus tip, and you got a better golf course. So if you're there, play this one. You'll enjoy it. Number 11 on my list of top courses I've played outside the United States, we're going to go across the pond to Scotland, to Western Gailes Golf Club in Irvine, Scotland. Western Gailes is an 18-hole seaside links course on the west coast of Scotland, about 2 to 3 miles from Royal Troon, that's on the Open Rota. Prestwick Golf Club, the original home of the Open Championship, and literally right across the railroad tracks from the Donald Links, the home of the LPGA Scottish Open. Western Gailes is on Golf Digest Top 100 outside the U.S., coming in at number 73. Western Gailes was founded in 1897 and is a traditional out and back seaside links course right on the Ayrshire coast with some awesome views of the Isle of Arran in the distance. In fact, when we played it, there was snow on the mountains on the Isle of Arran off in the distance, which was really cool. The golf course has hosted many prestigious amateur championships and even had some open qualifying rounds there. And if the footprint was larger, it definitely would have hosted some professional events, including maybe even an open championship. It's that good of a golf course, but it's on such a small space. There's no way you could get the build up for an open championship or even the Scottish Open for that matter. It's a shame because it's such a great golf course. The course is wedged in between the railway from Glasgow, and that's why it was built. And the Firth of Clyde, literally out there, you have 10 straight holes with the sea on your right side, which is kind of unusual. And if it's into the wind, and the day we played it, it was raining sideways, probably in the high 30s, low 40s. And they played tough. It is a gorgeous golf course, though. This is a terrific hidden gem, and you must play it if you're going to stay in the Troon area, because literally within 20 miles, you can play Western Gailes, Dundonald across the tracks, Royal Troon, and the Portland course at Troon as well. Prestwick Golf Club, Turnberry has 2 courses, including the Ailsa course where the Open's been played 3 times, and Kilmarnock, and you really don't even have to leave the area. So it'd be a great itinerary if you were going to go and stay on the western coast of Scotland. All right, number 10 on my list of courses that I played outside the United States is Sandals Emerald Bay Golf Course in Exuma, Bahamas. Now, yes, I know the Sandals Resort is closed along with the course because it's being renovated and it's going to reopen as a beaches resort, which is really sad because this is an amazing golf course. In fact, it's my favorite in the Caribbean. But as of today, there's no date been set for the reopening for both the resort or the golf course. Sandals Emerald Bay was the site of the Corn Ferry Tour through 2024, all the way up through 2024. It's just an awesome golf course. It's an 18-hole Greg Norman design. It was rated by Travel and Leisure and USA Today as a top 10 in the Caribbean. Again, it's my favorite in the Caribbean. Here's why. The course starts out and you're in mangrove forest, literally working its way through some marina or some small ponds and mangrove trees, and then it works its way to the marina and then finishes with 7 or 8 holes right out on the Caribbean, which are absolutely stunning. And you have amazing views of beautiful Emerald Bay with crystal clear water and the resort off in the distance right there. This course had paspalum grass as well, which is literally like playing on turf. And the course, when I played it, was in terrific shape. The pro shop was literally 50 yards or less from our room. So we could just walk right out of our room, right over to the pro shop, right out on the first tee. And then 18 finished right there. So literally, it was awesome. In fact, when we stayed at the Sandals there, it cost us $50 to play it because it was part of your stay there. So literally, it cost me a $50 cart fee to play it. The beach at Emerald Bay is absolutely awesome. The water is so warm and it's like a swimming pool. You can just see the bottom right there. It's awesome. The last 8 holes were definitely worth the price of admission, and you're going to take tons of pictures whenever it reopens. So I hope they don't change the layout because it was absolutely gorgeous and in terrific shape. So hopefully they'll get it back up and running. It'd be worth staying at the Beaches Resort if they include the golf just for that. It's the only reason we went to that Sandals in the first place, because the resort was kind of run down. It was older, but the golf course was tremendous. I played it every time I played it. Cheryl wasn't playing golf at that time. I played it every morning and literally played it in less than 2 hours. In fact, she wasn't even up some days by the time I got back to hopefully get your act together, Sandals, and open that golf course back up because it's tremendous. All right, number 9 on my list of top 15 golf courses I played worldwide would be Carnoustie Golf Links in Carnoustie, Scotland. Golf has been played on this site since the 16th century, so it's kind of hard to beat that history. The championship course has hosted 8 Open Championships, 2 Women's Open Championships, and 2 Senior Opens, as well as being one of the 3 courses in the Dunhill Cup Championship that's played each fall. Golf Digest has it in the top 100 outside the U.S. at number 16, and it's known as Championship Golf's toughest test, as the course winds through the dunes and burns and even has a few trees on it, unlike a lot of the seaside links courses in Scotland. Now, it probably wasn't one of my favorites, or didn't make my top 5 or 6, because it doesn't have the sea views necessarily and aesthetics of some of the other great courses in Scotland. But that back 9, it might be the toughest 9 holes in golf. They are terrific golf holes and incredibly difficult. And if that wind kicks up, good luck. If you break 40 on that 9, you should be buying pints for everybody in the pub afterwards, because it is a test on that back 9. The front 9 isn't a slouch either, with holes 2 through 6 being really fun to play as you're in those dunes and surrounded by those dunes, including the famous par 5/6 called Hogan's Alley, which OB down one side and 3 massive fairway bunkers on the other, and a creek, or a burn, sorry, that runs in front of the green. It is a booger bear. Now, I probably didn't enjoy Carnoustie as much because aesthetically it's not as pretty as some of the others we played while we were in Scotland. The more I watch it on TV, the more and over the years, the more I appreciate it. But it was a tough one. Just don't Vandevelde 18. Number 8 on my list of golf courses I played outside the United States, Castle Stuart Golf Links in Inverness, Scotland. Castle Stuart is now part of the new Cabot Highlands Resort, just outside of Inverness, Scotland, in the Scottish Highlands, right on the Moray Firth. A second 18, Old Petty, is scheduled to open this month for preview play as well. So I'm looking forward to that one. It might be worth the trip back to the Scottish Highlands just to play the new one there. Castle Stuart was designed by Gil Hance, and the course looks like it's been there for centuries and was created by nature and not by a human, which is awesome, because when we went, we wanted to play traditional seaside links courses. That's why we were going to Scotland. But since the Scottish Open was held there 3 years and I watched it on TV, I was stunned by how gorgeous this golf course was for being a new golf course. So we threw it in our itinerary since we were going up to play Royal Dornoch anyway, and we added it, and we sure were glad we did. Hance used the natural dunes, the gorse, the heather, the fescue rough, and the moray firth to expertly frame each hole. He did a wonderful job bunkering, making them look wild and wispy, which is what he's known for, and naturally made, not man-made. Even the holes that climb up inland are really beautiful and well thought out, and most of the holes on the golf course have some view of the Firth. In fact, it's got several, what do you call, infinity greens, to where it looks like it's just dropping off into the, the Firth out there. Hole 4 is a longish semi-blind par 3 that has Stuart Castle in the distance, which was given to James Stuart in 1625 by his half-sister Mary, Queen of Scots. How do you beat that history, right? Like I said before, the course has infinity greens like you're going to find in Bandon Dunes, especially on Sheep Ranch, which are really beautiful. It's hard to pick a golf club when you're coming into those greens. You might get a yardage, but it's deceiving because off in the distance, there's just nothing. It just drops off into the water. Castle Stuart's ranked in Golf Digest top 100 outside of the U.S., coming in at number 38. And it's hosted, like I said, 3 Scottish Open championships. And it looks like, literally, it looks like you could put it in Bandon Dunes and it would fit seamlessly there with the other 5 full-size courses that are at Bandon. In fact, it looks like it belongs there. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And you could put it on those cliffs in the Pacific and it'd fit right in. Or you could put them here at Inverness and they'd fit right in. So, terrific golf course. Number 7 on my list of top courses outside the United States that I've played is Quivira Golf Club, Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Located at the Pueblo Bonito Pacifica and Pueblo Bonito Sunset Resort on the Pacific side of Cabo San Lucas, Quivira is an 18-hole course that's available to those staying at the Pueblo Bonito resorts, any one of the 4 or 5 resorts, or we stayed in the Capala condos there a couple of different times and had access to the golf course as well. So it's absolutely gorgeous views, gorgeous. Literally, this is our home away from home, as we love going in January or February when you can literally watch the humpback whales from your room or laying out on the beach right there. They just come right up and you can just watch them play and splash all day long, breach all day long. It's absolutely gorgeous. Cheryl loves to watch the humpback whale. The course is an 18-hole Jack Nicklaus masterpiece that has ocean views on almost every hole, including several right on the ocean or on the cliffs cut out of the cliffs surrounding it. The movie Troy was filmed, or its beach scenes anyway, were filmed on the beach right there next to the course as well, which made it a bonus for Cheryl. She's Brad Pitt, big fan. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Uh, we absolutely love the Pueblo Bonito Pacifica Resort and its peaceful amenities. We love staying at the Capala condos there as well. We had access to all the resorts and all the amenities of the resorts, and had our own 2-bedroom condo with patio and grill and the whole bit. So we love it's, like I said, it's our second home. The course has dramatic elevation changes throughout and has always been in immaculate shape the many times we played it. Again, it has paspalum grass, like I mentioned before, which is an absolute joy to play from. The holes on the cliffs are the real showstoppers, but literally all 18 holes are visually stunning, in great shape. A bonus are the comfort stations, where literally, I think there were 3 on this one, where you can get all you can eat and drink, and they're really amazing. It just depends what time of day you play. The first one up on, what is it, hole 5 or 6 up on the cliff there, that you get there for breakfast. They'll have breakfast burritos, which are A plus. Literally any big boy beverage you want and as much of it as you want. So you can get real happy by the time you finish 18 holes here, and incredibly full because the food is awesome. In fact, this is Cheryl's favorite golf course in the world, and it's because of the comfort stations and those amazing views. In fact, we watched the whales breach as we were driving up the cliffside from one hole to the next. You could just see them out there playing while you were playing golf, which is really a special day. Quivira has also been listed on Golf Digest Top 100 and Golf Magazine's Top New International Course in 2014. So it's got a lot of press as well. Hole 6, we're going to jump back across the pond, back to Scotland, to Royal Dornoch Golf Club in Dornoch, Scotland. Golf has been played on this site for over 4 centuries. Old Tom Morris was brought in 1886 to expand the golf course to its full 18 holes that it has now. Now, because of its remote location, which is in far northern Scotland, it's kept it from hosting the Open Championship and other major events. But I challenge you to find a more beautiful links course in the world. The views all day long of the North Sea, the dunes, when we were there, the gorse was blooming in bright yellow. It's just awe-inspiring. Tom Watson once said he had never had as much fun on a golf course than his round at Royal Dornoch. In fact, they got a picture of it when you go into the clubhouse there. This is the home of renowned golf course architect Donald Ross. It's where he got his start and where he learned the game and brought a lot of the design features of Royal Dornoch to his designs here in the United States. Golf Digest has rated this top 100 golf course outside the U.S. at number 4. Royal Dornoch is a traditional out and back seaside links, and as such, difficulty relies in the ever-changing winds on this golf course. And Royal Dornoch has these built-up turtleback greens, like a bowl, reverse bowl, that Ross designs here in the United States are known for. And that's probably why I don't rate it higher on my list. I'm not a big fan of those greens, which in effect make the greens a lot smaller than they really are, because they all slope off on the edges. So you can hit a perfectly struck shot a few feet from the hole, but it catches one of those slopes and it can roll off the green and into deep pot bunkers or rough or even worse. So I think it penalizes sometimes a well-struck shot. And I know that's not the design, the way it's designed, but it actually does. So it makes it pretty frustrating. But there's no denying how beautiful it is. And even though I played poorly, it was a really fun day on the links. And I would play it again if we go there, but it just wasn't my favorite because of those greens. In fact, I've never gone to Pinehurst as many times as I've gone to the Carolinas in the past 40 years. I've never gone to Pinehurst because I really don't care for those turtleback greens. So I know everybody loves Pinehurst. So at some point I'll end up going there, but maybe I'll learn to like those type of greens. Number 5 on my list is the Prestwick Golf Club in Prestwick, Scotland. Founded in 1851 and designed by old Tom Morris, Prestwick is the birthplace of the Open Championship and the site of the first 12 Open Championships. In fact, 6 of the original greens are still in use today, which is amazing when you stop and think about it. The course is known for its unique layout with rock walls in play, blind shots, holes that cross each other. But to me, that's what makes Prestwick special. There's no other course like it in the world, and some of its holes, like the Himalayas and the Alps, cannot be replicated anywhere else because it was nature that made them. They just fit the holes into what nature gave them. They didn't trick it up or just played around what was there. It's really a magical day on the links, but you've got to embrace. Prestwick has terrific views of the Firth of Clyde and the Isle of Arran, and literally from every point on the golf course. So you're looking at that all day. Uh, the back nine at Prestwick was probably my favorite set of holes in Scotland. It has a lot of blind shots. The fairways look like somebody shook a sheet out and just rumpled. You don't have a flat lie on the entire golf course. You have walls in play on that back nine, and then you got the Himalayas and the Alps, and then you've got the town in the distance. So it is really a special 9 holes. Plus, the way we were treated like esteemed guests by the members and the staff. Which was a real joy. And they, some places that act like they don't want you there, but that wasn't Prestwick. In fact, we even got a history lesson before we teed off that day. So it was just a really pleasant day on the golf course. And if you're going to go to Scotland, you've got to play Prestwick. And I can't wait to play it again. If we ever go back, I would never get tired of playing Prestwick just because it's so different and so unique. Number 4 on my list of top 15 I played outside the United States would be Royal Aberdeen Golf Course in Aberdeen, Scotland. This was founded in 1780 and designed by the Simpson brothers of Carnoustie, and it's a traditional out and back seaside links course. This was the home of the original 5-minute rule. You had to look for golf balls, which has since been changed to 3 minutes, but it was the home of that rule. It's hosted a couple of Scottish Opens and many big amateur events in its history, and the front nine might be my favorite first 9 holes in all of Scotland. After the first hole takes you down to the North Sea beach, literally right behind the green is the beach. The next 8 holes run through massive, and I mean massive dunes that isolate you from the rest of the world. You really feel like you're on the moon because you're just surrounded by these tall uh, mount or dunes on both sides of the fairway. It's a really cool stretch of holes. And then the back nine come back toward the clubhouse is up on a plateau. So you get some really good views of the North Sea and the town of Aberdeen in the distance. So it's not a slouch either. But that front nine, really special. You take it front nine with the back nine at Prestwick, and phew, awesome golf course. Royal Aberdeen's in Golf Digest top 100 outside the US, and it comes in at number 48. All of the top 5 courses on this list, along with Pacific Dunes and Bandon Trails in the U.S., I could play every day and never get tired of them. Royal Aberdeen is a tremendous layout, and it's well worth your trip up the east coast of Scotland to play. In fact, you could stay in Aberdeen, you could play Carnoustie, you could play Royal Aberdeen, you could play Cruden Bay, you could play Mercar, which is right across the street. Literally, you can see Mercar from like the 9th green right across the fence line. Uh, you could play Montrose, you could play Trump International, and you never have a drive more than 30 minutes staying right there in Aberdeen. And there's lots of really good restaurants in downtown Aberdeen. So highly recommend this one. Number 3 on my list of top 15 courses I played worldwide would be Cruden Bay Golf Club in Cruden Bay, Scotland. This course was founded in 1899, designed by old Tom Morris, and it's located about 20 minutes or so north of Aberdeen on the northeast coast of Scotland. We played it the same day as my number 4 course, Royal Aberdeen, and you talk about a great day on the golf course. That was a tremendous 36 holes of golf. It was originally commissioned by the Great North Scotland Railway that featured a beautiful hotel next to the railway station there and overlooking the North Sea and the massive dunes there. In fact, Bram Stoker was staying at the hotel when he was inspired to write his masterpiece by the nearby Slane Castle, Dracula. There's a little known fact for you. Next to Prestwick and the Old Course, this might be the most unique collection of holes in all of golf, and I do mean unique. The course is built between the old railway and the sea, and it has literally massive 100 or higher foot dunes along the beach. It has many blind shots, including a blind par 3. Yes, a blind par 3. It has sunken greens. It literally looks like a bathtub on some of them. has some dog legs that are almost 90 degrees. It's got a drivable par fours. It's got par threes that you might need to hit driver on it. So it is really a unique layout and really unique day on the golf course. Uh, Again, this is one of the coolest days I've ever played. Is my brother, my son, and I played it and Aberdeen on the same day. Never forget those golf holes. But having said that, Americans, you've got to embrace the vagaries of links golf in Scotland, especially Cruden Bay, Royal Aberdeen, Prestwick, the old course, or you're not going to enjoy yourself. The blind shots, the revetted bunkers, the rumpled fairways, never having a flat lie, the double greens or double fairways, the crisscrossing holes, the weird bounces that you get. If you don't embrace that as just part of it and the way golf was meant to be played along the ground, you're not going to enjoy yourself. You might as well stay here and play some Parkland course. But if you want to see golf the way it's supposed to be played, embrace all of that stuff. The weather, you're going to get weather. It's Scotland. So just embrace it, dress for it, have a big time. Uh, you're not going to forget it. And if you do embrace it, you're going to love it, fall in love with it, and you're going to want to go back again and again. Number two on my list of golf courses that we played worldwide would be the Turnberry Ailsa course at the Trump Turnberry Resort on the Ayrshire coast of Scotland. Uh, the Ailsa course is located about 30 minutes south of Troon on the Ayrshire coast of Scotland, and the resort has two courses, the Ailsa and the Robert the Bruce, as well as a five-star hotel that's built up on the hill. The Ailsa has hosted 4 Open Championships, including the 1977 Duel in the Sun between Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson, and then again the Open with Tom Watson and Stuart Sink that came down to the playoff there. Great golf course, great history behind it. The course underwent another renovation in 2025, and it literally should host another Open Championship. It's a tragedy that politics have gotten involved and kept this amazing layout from hosting another Open, because it is a awesome test of golf and the views are just stunning from it. The course runs along the Firth of Clyde and the ruins of Robert the Bruce's castle out there. It has tremendous views of the entire course and the Ailsa Craig off in the distance, where the curling rocks that they use for curling are all made there, and the Isle of Arran in the distance. The Ailsa and Royal Dornoch have to be the most beautiful views for 18 holes in Scotland. You just can't beat them, either one of them. We played the Ailsa course in Western Gailes on the same day, and it was really the only day in Scotland and we were there in April, that we had weather, and it rained that day, but we still had a tremendous day on the golf course. It's a great day. And we can't wait to go back and see what changes they've made here to the Ailsa course. Hopefully someday the Royal and Ancient will do what's right and bring another Open there, because it is awesome. Golf Digest rates the Ailsa course in the top 100 outside the U.S. at number 7. And then drum roll, please. My number one favorite course of all time that I've played anywhere, especially outside the United States, would have to be the Old Course in St Andrews, Scotland. There's no course that has as much history as the Old Course, and spending a couple days in the Old Grey Tune at the Russex Hotel, which is right on holes 1 and 18, was definitely the highlight of my career. In fact, we played the Old Course and Carnoustie on the same day. I don't know how you beat that. Literally every hole on the golf course drips with history and plays differently every time you play it, due to the ever-changing winds that literally change with the tide. So you have to watch the tide to know where the wind's coming from. To walk and play where all the greats of the game have played is just incredible. I mean, I get goosebumps every time I think about it. And when I watch it on TV, it's just like brings back every shot that I hit there. Golf has been played on this site for over 600 years, and the holes have been more or less developed rather than constructed. Originally, the course was played clockwise, and it's still sometimes played that way, in that order. And they even have a tournament that's played that direction. Old Tom Morris is credited with the current 18-hole layout as it is. In fact, his house is right there along the 18th, which is really cool. His shop is right there along the 18th, which you really need to go in and check out while you're there. The golf course features many double greens and double fairways, has over 112 bunkers, gorse bushes everywhere, roads running through the course, and then you're out on the estuary as well. So it's really, really an awesome layout. No other course has as many famous landmarks on it. Literally every hole has a story. In fact, pretty much every shot has a story behind it. Uh, but if you do get to play it, be sure you get a caddy so you get the full experience and you'll get a history lesson as you work your way around the golf course. It's really cool. My brother got one, and it was really fun. Golf Digest rates the old course top 100 outside the U.S. at number three. In fact, it's number three worldwide. Some Americans will complain about the old course where it's not pretty or it's not fair because of the bounces and the uneven lies and the ever changing winds and the blind shots. And they say, well, it's not as pretty as other seaside links courses, but to me, the view of the estuary, the view of the village of St. Andrews as you're playing back toward town, and the history on every shot has a beauty of all of its own and makes it worth it to me and makes it stand out over every other course. I'll never understand how someone cannot fall in love with this cathedral of golf. So there you have it, my top 15 courses outside the United States that I've played in my 41 years as a high school golf coach. I hope you enjoyed the list. Please share with me your list, what your favorite courses you played outside the country are, and what you thought of the courses on my list. Or if you played them, let me know what you thought of them when you played them. And click on the links in the description below, and we'll watch our full review of each one of those golf courses as well. And then check out our other series in our channel as Cheryl and I rate and review golf courses and resorts from all around the world, places like Bandon Dunes, uh, Scotland, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Las Vegas, Cabo San Lucas, Myrtle Beach, islands in the Caribbean, and places all over the world. So hopefully we'll see you on the first tee someday. Keep hitting them straight.